These are the times, my friend. This is going to be our year. What is happening right now, I cannot emphasize enough to you how critical it is. 2023 is going to be the year. 2023 is the year. In fact, with the addition of ChatGPT at the end of 2022, this period of time, it is light speed. Look at what happened. Look at what's happened to all of this. Look at this incredible. How do I say this? I was looking when ChatGPT was first announced. I think it was November 2022. They announced it, and then all of a sudden we were talking about artificial intelligence and AGI, and just immediately, out of nowhere, it came. What is happening today at 10:30, I want you to pay attention regarding Devon Archer. This is what's important. This is what's critical, and this is what you have to be aware of, and you have to follow this. And I'm going to give you a couple of ideas of how to think about this and what in particular to look for. Number one, if you're going to go to war with somebody, pray that your enemy is as stupid as these people. Tactically, strategically, they're the worst. They are so stupid. They are so stupid. Let me begin, shall I? Let me begin. But before I do, I have to ask you this question. And I have to remind you of something which is very, very important. And I hate to do this to you, but everybody does. You have to like this video, please. We're doing so wonderfully well by trying to convince folks to come on board with our way of thinking. I don't know what you call this ideology. I have no idea. Realism, I don't know. Who cares? But we're making great headway. And it's thanks to you and the fact that you are liking the videos and that you are subscribing to the channel and boosting our numbers, because the greater our numbers are, the more that other people are made aware of them, and the more they are themselves invited, and we get into circulations, and we're introduced to people who might not have been paying attention, because this isn't left or right, conservative. No, it doesn't work that way. And also, I've got to tell you right now that our friends, and they have been so terrific, and I am loyal because they're loyal to me. Our friends at mypillow.com are having more sales right now than you can imagine, and they have an incredible product, this American-made story with the greatest products you can imagine, from everything involving bedding and sleeping and even slippers. So please use promo code Lionel, and we thank you for that. We support those who support us. Okay, today at 10:30, Devon Archer is supposedly, or as some people say, supposedly going to be testifying. Devon Archer. Why is that important? It's important because it goes to show you the absolute lunacy and the degree of mendacity of the Biden information, or the Biden family. This shows you a level of, I don't even know what the words are. Devon Archer, of course, who is Hunter Biden's longtime friend, business associate. He is expected to testify today, last I heard, on Capitol Hill, to share details, intimate and otherwise, about foreign business, foreign ventures, and the like that he worked on and with regarding Hunter Biden. Now, Devon Archer is set to appear before the House Oversight Committee, and is reportedly preparing to tell these folks that President Biden met with dozens of Hunter's business associates while he was vice president between 2009 and 2017. Why is that important? Because time after time after time, Joe Biden has repeated this lie that he doesn't know anything about what Hunter Biden's doing in terms of his business. He doesn't even talk to Hunter Biden. He doesn't even know what Hunter Biden does. He has no idea how he pays for the meth, the hoes, the trollops, the skanks, the fallen women, the courtesans, the myrtresses, the viragos, the malkins, the grimalkins, the slatterns, the syphilitic, drug-addled street slime, the pond scum, the road custard that he comes into contact with. He has no idea how he pays for that. Or the guns, or the expensive hotels, and the hookers and the drugs. He has no clue. No clue. He has no idea. Now, Devon Archer is expected to detail the meetings that he himself witnessed that both Bidens, repeat, both Bidens attended. Let me remind you, Joe Biden said before everybody, you don't understand this. I don't talk to him. This is why it's important to have a stupid adversary. You want somebody who is stupid to say that. Why are you saying that? You don't have to say that. You could just say, look, it's none of your business. I don't really care. I don't involve myself. Okay, that's theoretically doable, but I don't know. We don't talk. So let me say this again. Devon Archer is expected to testify as to meetings he witnessed. He was there with both Hunter and Joe Biden, either in person or on the telephone. He knows this. I mean, think about this. And he knows that Hunter would specifically introduce his father to foreign business folks. So it's lie. And this is also important because impeachment is hanging over Biden. And for the longest time, Americans think that impeachment means removal, right? You know that. Americans think that when you impeach a president, that you've removed him. They believe that. Fine. Let them think that. I'm not going to disabuse them of that. If that's what they think, fine. So they believe that by accelerating this and impeaching Biden, which all you need is a majority in the House to impeach. Remember, it's a two-step process: impeachment in the House, conviction in the Senate, which he's not going to get, but that's okay because Americans don't know the difference. This is the thing that we've been waiting for because this seems to make a difference. This means something to them. Okay, now, as you know, the shadow government's been turning this up. The ghouls, the overlords, are saying he's got to get rid of this guy because we have next year. It's next year. And saying next year is like saying 5 minutes from now. You follow this? 5 minutes from now. Now, Devon Archer's knowledge of the arrangements come after years and years of working with Hunter, including being on Burisma beginning in 2014. He also co-founded this investment firm, remember, Rosemont Seneca, with John Kerry's son, a stepson, Christopher Hines. Remember that? And then according to the BHR partners, in 2013, a joint venture between Rosemont Seneca and Chinese investment firm Bohai Capital, they became partners in a Beijing-backed private equity firm controlled by the Bank of China. Now, remember then, in 2022, and this is where it gets really interesting, Devon Archer was sentenced to a year and a day for, quote, defrauding a Native American tribal entity. He also lost tens of millions of dollars. But here's the thing, and this is what I want you to understand, and I will only bring up specific facts that I think are critical to this. Number one, let's go through this. Here's what you have to know. Here's what you got to tell your friends today. Make sure they're aware of this. Make sure you know this. Number one, you don't want Devon Archer to testify before everybody and tell them specifically to tell them that how do I say this? You don't want to testify. You don't want them to, let me try this again in English, new teeth. You don't want Devon Archer to lay it on thick and to say, oh yeah, not only was I there, and not only was Hunter there, but Joe Biden was there. He knew exactly. You don't want that. So let me ask you something. How do you prevent that from happening? Here's a way, one way in particular. Number one, listen to me carefully. Don't send him to prison. What? Don't send the witness that is going to bury you to prison. You dig that? Don't Do it. Let me say this again, because you're thinking, no, that can't be. Oh, yeah, that is. Devon Archer is the guy. Now, Bobulinski, Weiss from Delaware, the U.S. attorney, never even called him. You can't force the government to do their investigation the right way. But so here's the deal, and a deal can be made. You tell, I'm the DOJ, I'm Merrick Garland, I'm whoever it is. You tell him not to worry about it. We're going to ask the judge to either give him, we'll give you one of those deferment agreements. What do you say? You got kids? Good, Devon. We'll do the same thing for you. We'll give you a deferment agreement. Here's the deal. You're not going to come and you're not going to testify. You're going to say, well, I might be mistaken. I don't know for sure. Is it possible that President Biden didn't know? Absolutely is possible. Great. But that's not what they did. Why? Because they're stupid. They indicted him. And then here's the best part. Here's the best part. You ready? This is the one where you say to yourself, oh my God, these people cannot be serious. These people cannot possibly be serious. You have the U.S. Attorney's Office. The U.S. Attorney's Office on the eve of this testimony, not only basically calling for his arrest, but trying to speed up his incarceration. You've got Damian Williams, who was U.S. Attorney for the Southern District. He basically, they're filing basically suggestions with the judge. Can you speed this reporting up? What? Can you speed the reporting of Devon Archer reporting to prison? Like, can you do this now? But he's going to be testifying before the House. Yeah, I know. Let me stop. Let's go back. You might have missed this. Number one, I think the kids call it effing with him by sending him to prison. The man who could destroy the whole thing. Why doesn't he get a deal? Why doesn't he get Latham and Watkins, whatever, to represent him, to have one of these deferment agreements? I don't know. He lost money himself. They're going after him and saying, what are you doing? So that's number one. They prosecuted him. Number two, they didn't give him any kind of a diversion agreement. Number three, before he testifies, they're basically going to the judge saying, lock him up now. Why? Or suggesting to remind him, to intimidate him. To me, it's already done. It's already done. But they're suggesting that this is a further move to intimidate the witness. Some are calling it obstruction of justice. I call it stupid. And it would give them the perfect example to say, Hunter's not the only person who gets these deals. So does Devon Archer. Yeah, but Devon Archer, you did that so he wouldn't testify. Well, maybe we did, but still, we're not the only one. Hunter's the only person on the planet who gets these deals. They're stupid. Our enemy, the Republic's enemy, the Constitution's enemy, are these people. They're idiots. They're idiots. So now, Joe, through his demented spokespeople like Karine Jean-Pierre, she said, well, he wasn't in business. Wait a minute, were you changing your mind? I'm just saying, I said before that he was, that he was what? Well, I'm just saying that he was, that he didn't know, but he wasn't in business. So they're changing this. Nobody can believe this. And the people who run the shadow government, the people who are the overlords, the ones with the money, the ones who control it, they're saying, we're done with you. Let me say this again. They're done with the Biden family. They're done. Oh, 10:30, I'm going to be watching this. Oh, what? This is Comer's. This is his moment. Now, You're going to hear the Democrats say, this is no reason to impeach. Now, of course, they're going to bring up, well, what about Trump? They're going to say, well, Trump was different. What do you mean? Well, it was the Ukrainian. Forget what they say. It doesn't matter what they say. Don't worry about what they say. The shadow government folks are saying, we got to get rid of this guy. To impeach him, to impeach changes the collective opinion that people have about the Democratic Party, because Bobby the K comes in, and now he's having these wonderful soirees, these salons, these consortia, these convocations, these wonderful meetings of everybody involved in order to, what's the word? To expose and to highlight this, what do you want to call it? This world of draconian Soviet style, as they are wont to say, limitations of free speech. This is the most incredible thing in the world. So let me go through this. You have to know when things are changing. I asked you the other day, how will you know when things are improving? What will be the signs? How will you know? What is the sign? It's like when somebody gets this is terrible to say, but when somebody gets a diagnosis of a disease, the question most people ask is, okay, I've got it now. I'm fine. I'm asymptomatic, so to speak. What will I notice first? What will I notice? When does it start? How does the disease manifest itself? Or how will I know I'm getting better? And this is what you, as an astute political observer, must understand. When is it going to get better? When is it getting worse? How do you know? Up till now, it's been stagnant. It has been absolutely stagnant, static. Static for us. Joe Biden has been walking around with impunity. He has gotten away with everything. It's the age-old story. He's gotten away with everything. Everything. He doesn't know to hit the brakes. Imagine being in a town where the cops never pull you over. You never have to pick up a tab. You can hit people, beat people, never call the cops on you. You don't pay any taxes, nothing. The world doesn't apply to you. You live in a separate inertial bubble. Nothing. You're not human. You're not usual. You're not ordinary. You are not anything anybody's ever seen before. You live in a different world. In a completely different world. This is where you're from. And then all of a sudden, there's a new sheriff in town. And it's over with. You can say, wait, what? Speeding. Taxes. I got to pay a bill? Yes. I got to pick up the tab? Wait a minute. That's what's happening right now. And the reason why is because of a couple of things. Because this has been building up momentum. But number one, Bobby Kennedy. Bobby Kennedy changed everything. It changed everything. It was a oh no. All of a sudden. And concomitantly, and we'll get to this in a moment, and it's funny because people say, I didn't think you liked him, because people have this sophomoric kindergarten idea about liking political. The removal, the expurgation, the Bowdlerization of Tucker Carlson from Fox News did more to signal to people that even the old world of whatever you want to call these people, this world of conservative, it's over. It's done. It's done. This is a new world with new people, and we've got to get this word out. We are this close to having a revolution, a peaceful, bloodless revolution where people feel a part of, people are equally as appalled from everything has changed. Many people have noted the following. Jason Aldean, try that in a small town, right? You think, okay, why is that important? The old days, it was the military-industrial complex world of Toby Keith and courtesy of the red, white, and blue, this post-9/11 military-industrial complex. We're going to kick your... See, that was the old country music. I'm proud to be an American. Even that, I'm proud to be an American. Or at least I know I'm free. Yeah, sort of. Well, we're free. Think about that. When you hear, I was going to say Glenn Greenwald, when you hear Lee Greenwood or Greenfield, whatever his name is, you versus Lee Hazelwood, you think, not really. You see what I'm saying? Listen to what I'm saying. Even country music. Country music, Jason Aldean is the voice of the 60s. This is For What It's Worth. This is Stephen Stills. This is Buffalo Springfield. This is Eve of Destruction. This is a different thing. In the old days with Mr. Red Cup and Beer for My Horses and the kind of a Toby Keith, Goofy. Oh, no. Listen to what's happening in terms of music. Listen to what happened. Listen. And as soon as those cowards in Nashville understand you can't go around the world being a Brad Paisley all your life. You got to grow a pair, butch up, get a rod in your back, have some backbone to you, and stand up for something. Wait till that happens. Wait till that move. This is a huge contingent. Next, you know who I want to get? NASCAR. They leave NASCAR alone. Remember they went after that Bubba Wallace or whatever they tried? They don't even mess with these people. That's what I want. When we get the NASCAR groups, oh my God, the NASCAR groups. And then I want to get hip hoppers. I want to get the people that we would have never dealt with before. Hey, Mr. whatever, NWA. I'm dating myself, but we're both in the same. We're talking about rampant authority that's out of control. Authority that is not accountable to anybody. That's what we're talking about. You can sing whatever you want. Of course, you really don't have any problem, but we're going to pretend like they do. When you see people all of a sudden say, wait a minute, hold it, that's a different story. Trump, now people are saying, leave him alone. Oh, dear God, music to my ears. Leave him alone. People are saying, leave him alone. Hey, leave him alone. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. Who was it? Lawrence Tierney years ago was getting beaten up. And Frank Sinatra walked by. He said, Frank, help me or something. And he said, that's enough. That was it. Okay, well, if that saves my life, that saves my life. People are furious now. We are on the verge of everything changing drastically. Trump's got to play this thing perfectly. Trump's got to play this thing perfectly. Trump right now, if you count all of his separate, and they're thinking about Fulton County, my advice, well, if I advise the Fulton County DA, I would say don't do it. But what I hope she does, I hope she's stupid enough to bring charges against Trump. It's like, what, are you nuts? Are you crazy? What? You're going to do what? They're going after the groundskeeper. They're going after some poor guy who Trump said, help me do what allegedly. So, okay, he doesn't know. The groundskeeper. Haven't you how many, forget your pound of flesh, how many pounds do you want? This is overkill. Look what they're doing. And Devon Archer is so pissed off. Let me go back and tell you this again. My friend, you're very smart. You got to know when to act like a criminal. What does a criminal mind think? How does a criminal act? What does he want? What does a criminal want? What are they looking for when you're trying to do anyone, I guess, one of these supposed, I don't know what the word is. When you profile, when you're trying to profile, what is it that you're looking for? What is it that you're trying to figure out what goes through these people's minds? They are so sick of this Hunter Biden, and it makes us, because you're going to say, well, why all of a sudden? I don't know why, but just do yourself to a favor, drop to your knees, look up to the heavens, and thank God that is happening. I don't know why. I don't know I don't know. I don't understand this. I don't know why all of a sudden it's like this. I don't understand, but I don't know. But we are so close, and we need somebody in the middle, like a Bobby Kennedy, to pull people in. Bobby, get more people of color on your thing. Be very careful. Be very careful. I'm going to say this to Bobby. Number one, when somebody accuses you of something, you don't drop what you're doing and go and beg forgiveness. If somebody calls you an anti-Semite, you say, I'm not an anti-Semite, and you move on. That's it. Don't call attention to it. You may think you don't benefit from this. You're telling people you can stop my campaign. If somebody calls you an anti-vaxxer, you don't stop. If somebody like Debbie Wasserman Schultz makes this ridiculous combination suggestion that you're an anti-Semite because you believe that there may have been certain demographics and certain populations that benefit. You said Ashkenazi Jews, not Sephardic. Does anybody care? No, stop it. You got to be very careful. Be very careful of the shows you are on. You're not paying attention enough. You think that they're fungible. You're thinking that fungible means that each one is exactly the same as the others. By the way, I need your likes, my friends. I need 400 likes. I need them right now, and I know you can do it, and I appreciate that. I mean that. Be very careful of the shows you're on. You only talk about your 3 points. I want more of a rainbow, number one. I don't want you to become, you tend to be, and this is a wonderful, wonderful suggestion. This is not a criticism. You tend to be academic. They love you right now. Go for very, very, very simple ideas. You have the intellectual crowd. You have the Bobby Kennedy crowd. Now move to the people who don't know who you are. They don't know who you are. They don't know the Kennedys. I know you don't believe me when I say this. I know you're not thinking about this, but they don't know who the Kennedys are. They don't know. I'm sorry. Don't milk that too much. This is very critical. Anytime I can send this out, Bobby Kennedy's not going to want to talk to me. I understand. Whatever. I get it. I've always said specifically what I think. Always. And I have pissed more people off because they don't like my truth. I dig it. It's all right. So if you have any insight to him, tell him from me. I want to win. I want my country back. I don't care who does it. Doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't matter to you either. I don't care who wins. But listen to what I'm saying. Stop. This is one of the most important points right now that we are facing. This is victory. Do you see what's happening? And I don't want people to screw it up. Let's go through the scenario. What's going to happen? Number one, Biden's on his way out. He's on his way out. They're going to get rid of him. Mitch McConnell is worse off than anything you can imagine. It's time for him to go. He's worse off probably than Dianne Feinstein. You got Mitch McConnell, Dianne Feinstein. By the way, he's Republican. She's Democrat. You've got Fetterman. You've got people walking around who, I don't know what this is. Night of the Living Dead. Being old is one thing. This Republican Party has not done anything for me. I don't know who these people are. Listen to what I'm saying. Sean Hannity, memo, the 80s called, it's over. Ronald Reagan, Rush Limbaugh, supply side. I don't know what they're talking about. There's a new, we are the revolution. We are the Republican Party, whatever you want to call it. I'm not going to change. Please don't make me change. I can't, I don't, I cannot be a member of any party. Please. So I'll just let me vote in the generals. Please, for the love of God. But this is not the Republican Party. That's over with. The Republican Party has merged with the Democrat Party. They're both a war party. You do understand what's happening regarding Ukraine, right? You do understand. You do understand this lie, this lie that has been a part of everything. This lie, this perpetual lie that has been nothing but, I don't know what the word is. Putin came in with 190, maybe tops 1,000 troops to take what? To conquer Ukraine in 1930, whatever it was, when Germany, who went in first, then to be met with Russia, wanted to take Poland. They had 1.5 million, 2 million. Putin never wanted Ukraine. Never. Didn't even want the Donbass. Nobody knows what's going on here. But there are those of us who have known this. And many of us, by the way, who don't get along with each other in everything. Let me explain something to you. And I want you to listen carefully. This is really important and really critical. I want you to be able to listen to everybody you know, everybody who speaks, everybody who talks, everybody who opines. You may not like them, but sometimes you don't even like to hear people that you do like. I love Steely Dan. Asia, to me, is my White Album. That's my Sgt. Pepper. That's the greatest album. I can listen to that all day long. But Countdown to Ecstasy, Pretzel Logic, well, okay, good. Somebody. So I don't expect. I love Steely Dan. I love them. And by the way, they're playing on the Jersey Shore without Becker. Anyway. So I can love a person, but not love everything they say. And consequently, there are some groups where I'm no Taylor Swift fan, but that Shake It Off or Shake It Up or Shake It Up, I like that. If you say something that makes sense to me, I saw an interview on the Gray Zone with John Mearsheimer. It was brilliant. It should be mandatory watching. I'm learning. My world is not cable TV, Hannity, Jesse Waters. That's over with. That's done. It's finished. It's over with. This is new. This is new wave, a new flair, bossa nova. This is new. This is a new country, a new everything, a new wherewithal. This is happening right now. And we are seeing for the first time in a very long time, some serious cracks and dents and foundational problems regarding this vile and putrescent Democratic Party. And I've never been happier in my life. I can't contain myself. I can't contain myself. So make sure you're going to watch this. I want you to also understand something. I don't care about people's policies. I don't care about that. I want you to listen, and I want you to listen to people that you know. And I want you to hear and see what you see that's different. I want you to smell the news. What do I mean? Drudge Report. Has anybody seen Matt Drudge? Is he alive? Can we have a welfare check? No, I'm serious. Is he physically alive? Is he alive somewhere? Because I don't know what happened to his. But I read the headlines, so to speak, the way some people read. Well, let me give you an example. I go into if I'm an exterminator, and you say I think there's a dead rat, and I walk around and go, yep, it's coming from there. Dead rats in there, yeah. I'm not going to go in and inspect the rat. I'm not going to look at what caused the rat to die. Was it the poison? Was it the trap? How long has it been? No, I'm just saying that's where the rat's coming from. Get rid of the rat. That's the way I read the Drudge Report. That's it. I don't care about the story. I'm saying, oh, that's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. It's about time Ford Free says, yep, Newland was elevated to acting deputy secretary of state last week. An endless war and continued U.S. dollars are in play with her in place. That's for you, Ford. Thank you. Do not expect Victoria Newland. By the way, her father, Sherwin Newland, was an absolute hero of mine. His book, How We Die, changed my life. And it kills me that this spawn of his could do this. Do not expect for people to understand who she is, what NATO is. They don't understand this. But you're right about that. Correctly. What they have done to Ukraine, we'll talk about this later. I don't want to get too much into the Ukraine thing because there are certain things, and let me tell you, as somebody who watches very carefully what people think and do, let me tell you a couple of things. Number one, when it comes to artificial intelligence, not ready yet. People don't get it. You're wasting your time. People, they don't get it. They're not, it's okay. It's the scariest thing anybody's ever even remotely seen. It's the scariest thing anybody. They're talking about Oppenheimer. Artificial intelligence is going to, that is a cosmic existential threat, and nobody gets it. That's number one. By the way, speaking of Oppenheimer, I don't think anybody ever heard of Oppenheimer before the movie, and that movie has nothing to do with reality. It doesn't even come remotely. They're too much into the acting. You want to be an actor, or do you want to tell me what happened? What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Do you think all the time Oppenheimer said, and I must feel that I am become death, the destroyer of worlds? Kitty, you communist, because of Prometheus. No. He was like a lot of people, and they say he was about almost 6 feet tall, weighed 120 pounds. I don't think so. But that's okay. They just start seeing these things. Leslie Groves, did they have But here's what I'm saying. They didn't know who Oppenheimer was. That was before my time. Grumpy Lizzie, thank you, Grumpy Lizzie. No reason to be grumpy, gal. No reason to be grumpy. We're winning. You know what my dream is? My dream is I want to have these boot camps, summer camps. I want to bring people in. And I want them to sit together in a big tent. And I want to have fun. And I want to start off and I want to say to them, what is it that you believe in? What is it that I believe in America, but what does it mean to you? What is it that you want? You want to be able to say what you want everywhere within reason. You understand. You can't go into churches and you can't stand up and start making noise. Let's get rid of the obvious. Yelling theater in a crowded fire and all this. That's what you want. Number one, you don't want unnecessary wars. Number three, you want some kind of rational economics. You want certain things to be maintained. You don't care. You don't care what people feel sexually. You don't care what they call themselves. You don't care. It makes no. It's not that you're deeply committed. No, you don't care. You're busy. You've got a life. Kids are a different story. You believe in the Constitution. You believe that there are certain things that have to be done. You believe that the First Amendment is critical. You believe in the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment is critical. That's an amendment. It's not a suggestion. It's not a hint. It's the Second Amendment. You believe in the fourth search and seizure and due process. You believe this. You believe in the sanctity of life, but you also believe that you're not going to afford and accord people rights under the aegis of the Constitution that are made up on the spot. You don't want to have somebody like William O. Douglas who says, yeah, I think that people should be able to have contraception. You know what? There's nothing in the Constitution, so I'm going to come up with this thing called privacy. This was a Griswold case in 1960. You're against that. Not that you're against privacy. Not that you're against contraception. You're against people making stuff up, legislating from the bench. This isn't liberal or Democrat. This is American. This is American. And we're not perfect. You don't have to like anybody. And that's another thing. You don't have to like anybody you don't want to. If you don't like people of a particular race, a particular gender, a hybrid gender, if you don't like, you don't have to like them. Hate crimes are an abomination. The operative word is crime. There are people out there who agree with us, but nobody's ever talked to them. You're not going to hear that on Fox News. You're not going to hear that on MSDNC. They're the same. They're deliberate, polar opposites, antipodal, syzygy, chiral forces. Like Carol Quigley said, tragedy and hope. It's like two drunks walking home, leaning on each other to support each other. You need one to explain the other. You need the left to justify the right. And they balance, they toss up. Okay, you got the ball this week. Next week, you got the ball. But as long as they end up, because they're corrupt and they're vile, and we need to go in there with an enema. We need to go in there with an enema, with some hydrotherapy, some citrate of magnesium, and clean this thing out from top to bottom. And it's happening now. Listen to me. Every time there is a moment of significant and absolute improvement, I want you to recognize it. I don't want you to encourage this. I don't want you to feel happy, because you've been walking around for the longest time and you've been feeling like crap for a lot of reasons, and I don't blame you. They're constantly trying to destroy your inner sense of self, your inner sense of peace. They try to do this with this corona mania. They did everything. You have been hit left and right. There's been no end in sight. Thank God Donald Trump has been able to withstand this. What he's gone through, this guy's going to end up bigger than anything anybody's ever seen. Donald Trump, you talk about Prometheus. This guy, I just don't understand him. And I'm going to say it until I'm blue in the face. Thank you, God. Thank you, whomever. Thank you for giving our enemies no intelligence whatsoever. No sense of tactic, no sense of strategy, nothing. To take Devon Archer and to want to imprison him the day before he testifies, to intimidate him, no, you're pissing him off. You're giving him no reason to cooperate. Oh, you're right. Yeah, I'm right. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. Thank you. Thank you, dear stupid people. Thank you, people of the Biden persuasion. Thank you. Thank you. We couldn't have done it without you. Listen to me. Are you listening? I need 400 likes. I'm sorry. I told you this. I used to love Hawaii Five-0. Cam Fong as Chin-Ho. Remember Zulu as Kono. We're going to get that fat Hawaiian. I love that one. They put him in a bait well. I digress. Cam Fong is Chin-Ho. Chin-Ho Kelly. We're all in this together, brother. Remember that one? Great acting. We're all in this together, brother. You and me. I don't know who you are. I don't know where you're from. I don't know anything about your sexuality, your color, your weight, your money. I don't care. Are you on board? Can we count on you? Can we count on you? Can we count on you to say, I'm doing what's right? I'm going to do what I'm right. Can you focus on the issue and not the name of the party that advances? I'm not against the Democrats. I'm against people who want to destroy the Constitution. The Constitution is it. I keep telling you this. This thing right here, this document, this is it. And all my voting at the back, every time you vote, you've got to vote. You got to play the game. You got to play the game. You can't be dejected. If this guy's not dejected, you shouldn't be dejected. Don't lose faith. Can we count on you? Can we count on you? Yes, we can. And I want you to spread the word. Johannesburg is a great, Gil Scott Heron said, the father of American rock. I want you to tell everybody who you are. Tell them specifically what this is about, who you are, what the plan is, and how Bobby Kennedy Jr., and we'll get to what he has to do next. And I'm saying this right now. The revolution starts not necessarily from the people who are running the show, but from the people who make the music, the people who influence design, the people. Don't forget what Breitbart said, that politics is downstream from entertainment. Absolutely. Watch what's happening. Look at the elevation of what streaming has done. Look at these great people who have been so, and they don't know it. The Fox Newsers don't understand it with their big sets and their big money. They don't get it. Enjoy it because it's dead. It's finished. It's done. Look at music. Spotify is the greatest thing ever. I can't believe how much music there was. You wouldn't have found that in the 1960s. They only had what? How many? Because you needed a studio. And the studio had to grant you, okay, we'll make your record and we'll get it on the air. But it better sell. We don't care if it's good, as long as it sells. I started every day. I go through Spotify and I went through a section. Listen to this. And I love these little, you make your own little, musical, what am I trying to say? Your own little things. I went through something called fast grass. This is bluegrass. Have you heard I Am Otangi sing Brothers, or a Monsters rather, excuse me? I was listening to, but anyway, make a long story short, I was listening to fast grass. So this is bluegrass. And this is so American, it's not even funny. And I am listening to a virtually endless, Billy Strings and Molly Tuttle are changing the course of it today. We never had this. This was impossible in the 60s and 70s because nobody was making albums. Do you understand how this, as horrible as social media, it released us. It liberated us. And that's going to be our salvation. Listen to what I'm telling you. This is our salvation. One of these days, people are going to be meeting, and they're not going to be asking, are you Democrat, Republican? No, nothing. You're going to go to a meeting or to a rally, and you're going to say, you're going to see somebody with tattoos and studs, and you're going to say, what are you doing here? Oh, I agree with you on the war. Okay, come on in. It's not an all or nothing. It could be a cafeteria form of politics. I agree with you on this. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. I'm with you. Whatever happened to the conservationists? How many people worry about Brother Dale? How many people worry about the water and the air? Not that climate, just the air, about what they're spraying and just being able to go to the beach and not having the Jersey Shore peppered and pocked and destroyed with wind turbines. That's conservation. That's the planet. That's the stuff that Bobby Kennedy was worried about with water. This is who we are. This is who we are. And then when it comes to climate change, explain it. What are you suggesting? An anthropogenic causation model can prove it. Well, we can't prove it. Well, then I'm not interested. Stop it. We are getting along so. There are so many of us. America still hates the notion of racial discrimination. You hate it. You hate it. You've never lost that. You hate the idea of somebody. You hate it. Two people can't get married, which is not the truth, but the case. But two people can't get married because they're the same gender. I'm sorry. I've been for gay marriages of adults since day one. But guess what? I'm not even sure the Constitution even provides for that. You don't need the Constitution. Quit coming up with that. Oh, you're libertarian. I'm not a libertarian. Stop that. Stop. No. No. Tell that to Nick Gillespie. Talk to those people about their libertarian. What does that mean? It's common sense. Leave me alone. It's my motto. It's my T-shirt. Leave me alone. Go away. Not you, the government. Leave me alone. I'm not bothering you. I want to participate in the process, but leave me alone. I'm not going to endorse this. Leave my children, my family, my water heater. Stop this. Go away. We're going to expurgate you like a big enema. I've said enough. I've said enough. Thank you, my friends. Thank you. Always support the people out there who are speaking up. And what I'm saying is so common sense, it's not even funny. Now, by the way, I have a private channel where I can, there are some things that you know and I know. You don't talk about this now. You don't talk about things now. You don't. Certain things we do not want you to talk about. Certain things we don't want you to get around. We don't want you to talk about. Okay, I understand it. I got it. We'll worry about that next. First things first. So we're going to watch it at 10:30 or whatever. Let's see what happens. Let me see the latest one. I still have to go. Yep. This is good. This is a good one here. Fox News reports as follows. Several House Republicans urge lawmakers return to at least 5 House Republicans who are currently enjoying a legislative recess to return to Capitol Hill after the DOJ asked Hunter Biden's business partner, Devon Archer, to surrender to prison. The request came over the weekend before Archer was scheduled to testify to the committee on the Biden family. Matt Gaetz, Mike Johnson, Chip Roy, Harriet Hagerman, and Dan Bishop each said on social media Sunday that lawmakers should return to Washington for an emergency hearing to discuss potential DOJ interference in the committee's investigation. I don't know why these people can't use Zoom for this. Why can't you use a special quorum? We'll talk about that later. All right, my friends. First of all, thank you for you being here. Thank you for you being a part of this. Thank you for your caring. Thank you for this. You have been wonderful. Thank you. We'll be back tomorrow. Tonight, I believe maybe there is the remotest of possibilities that I might have to either interrupt, postpone. I don't know. We'll see. So just always make sure you stay logged in. Hit that little bell so you're notified of the live. If something comes up during the day, I want you to make sure you hit the bell and you're subscribed so you know what's going on, because if something breaks, I want to be able to go live as it happens. All right, dear friends? All right? Excellent. And by the way, one more thing. Big Dick Long said this. 500 likes would be nice. 500 likes. I don't know if I've ever had 500 likes from you. I'm a simple person. I'm not up there in the millions yet. I'm not. But I'm trying. And if the good Lord's willing and the creek don't rise, we're going to get it done that way. 500 likes would be super. Dick, you were so correct, my friend. 500 to 3. Thank you. All right, dear friends, have a great and a glorious day. We will see you perhaps this evening. Let's see what happens. And until then, I want to remind you, as I always do, as I always provide you with this particular valedictory, this sayonara, this adios, this way of saying goodbye. The monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Ta-ta.